Hey, this is Mike. Thank you so much for choosing this video. Today I'm in Whiteville, North Carolina, visiting Vann, Underwood, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, and I'm checking out a 2019 Ram 1500 in the Rebel trim level. Now the Rebel is smack dab in the middle of all the trim levels, and it is a very stylish and off-road capable truck. So let's go ahead and check it out. This Rebel is sitting on 275/70 Goodyear Wrangler Duratrac tires, wrapped around 18-inch alloy wheels with a matte black and a 6-lug pattern. It also has 4-wheel disc brakes. Each disc is almost 15 inches, so it's very large disc brakes, and all of them are ventilated. The name of this color is Granite Crystal Metallic, and the sun is shining. And check out the color a little bit. And while we're here, check out this hood. So this is a special hood for the Rebel, and it looks like vents that go all the way through, but this is all for looks. This is all cosmetic, but it looks awesome. So since this is a granite color, some of the black portions may not pop out to you. Now it has the flat black across the top here, and then of course in the main part of the grille there, and a Ram name there in the center. It's not super bright, but it is like a silver color or a gray. Bottom portion is matching as well with your tow hooks sticking out there. Now it has the active grille shutters. Now the active grille shutters are right in here, and they're like louvers basically that open and close depending on the airflow to the engine that's needed to cool the engine. So at higher speeds, these can close up and force the air around the vehicle instead of through the less aerodynamic engine bay, and this helps out with the aerodynamics and fuel economy and overall efficiency. And then once the engine needs a little bit extra air, it can go ahead and open them up. So it'll open and close them seamlessly. You won't even notice us doing it, and just to kind of help you out with the aerodynamics. Now this one, some of the Ram 1500s in 2019 have the active air dam that extends down here at the bottom. This one does not have it. My assumption is the approach angle. They're trying to get the really nice approach angle since this is a off-road focused vehicle. All the exterior lighting on this vehicle is powered by LEDs. So here in the front you have LED headlights, turn signals, as well as your fog lights. Now the headlights are in a reflector housing, 3 reflectors. So you have 2 for your low beams, and then the high beam there in the center portion. You have an LED daytime running light across the bottom, underscoring it, and around the headlight basically. And you should check out my night video because it looks pretty awesome at night. The frame of this truck is almost entirely high strength steel, and when it comes out right here, it comes out in a Y pattern, so it spreads out here in the front, so that way if you have a front impact, the ladder frame sticks out, it bends over. Instead of being all the energy being pushed back on that rail of the frame, it allows for it to bend over and absorb more impact than if it was just straight. So looking at the profile of the truck, it has the crew cab, so it's a really big back door with plenty of room there, and it has body matching handles. And one thing about this is the monotone option that this one has. It's basically the only option that the Rebel has as far as an appearance package. Here on the side, from this right in here about there down, is typically black on the side of the vehicle, painted black. So in this case it's the body colored across the bottom as well, just kind of taking away that black has a different look, and so you have that option of having the black at the bottom or not. And I don't think it actually costs anything different. You just a choice that you have when you get one of these trucks. This is what the key looks like. It's a proximity key, and it's designed to where you can keep it in your pocket most of the time. In this case, you will need to take it out of your pocket to unlock the doors by pushing the buttons with the remote, because it doesn't have the keyless entry, but that is an option that you can add if you wanted to. It does have the remote start, the lock and unlock, and the panic button here, and a physical key on the inside in case you need it. So let's go ahead and push this panic button and see what happens. All right. The remote started. Let's go ahead and double tap that. All right, let's go ahead and turn that off by pushing the remote start again. The heated side mirrors are a power fold in this case with two portions. You have a separate blind spot type eliminator portion here and then a standard mirror. It also has an LED turn signal here on the side that can be seen from all directions. So looking on the inside of the truck, here's the inside of the passenger side door. And check it out, that combination of red and black is throughout this vehicle and it looks fantastic. Soft to the touch surfaces here, all the way here, here, and here, and then when you get below the arm, you get into the hard touch plastics. Has a large pocket here at the bottom, removable foam cup holder goes in there as well. You also have a smaller one, a little bit higher position. This goes all the way through. That's also soft to the touch, kind of like a rubbery material. This is kind of like a vinyl here and here, and then a Nerf type material here at the top, all synthetic. And check it out, you have that metallic portion here looking pretty nice. Contrast stitching in a French design with two different colors. You have white and red, that's nice. Metallic handle, non-reflective, it's not a chrome. It's like a smoked chrome. The doors almost go all the way down. Manually adjusted seats. But check out these seats. Now notice it has this is a vinyl, so this isn't leather. This is a vinyl material with a stitching there. But here on the side, right here, you'll notice it turns to cloth. Just right where the plastic touches the side of the seat, this helps out with the plastic from digging into the vinyl and creating cracks in it. The soft cloth is more supple, and that way it protects the seat a little bit better, especially when you're putting weight on it and it's squishing and pressing up against that hard plastic. It has like this mesh material here on the side, and then you have the more smooth vinyl on the ends. And the mesh, if you look between the mesh, you actually see a tire tread pattern, which is pretty cool. It also has the Rebel name embroidered on the inside of each seat. That looks awesome. As soon as you get in, you notice that immediately as soon as you open up the door, actually. The headrests have the red on the back, black on the front. And check it out, they're adjustable. So you just pull it forward like so. It releases it all the way back. And it's like a ratchet, so you can pull it forward and it ratchets one click at a time. You just stop it, you go all the way and let it go, and it'll go back to its upright position. You can also adjust them up and down like a normal headrest as well. Now there's a little storage pocket here on the side. This is similar to the previous years, except for a little bit bigger. It's intended for papers, file, like a huge file folder can fit in there, all kinds of stuff. And the floor mats are spectacular. I mean, for a factory floor mat, these are awesome. They snap in place. They have the Ram badging on it. Textures, looks great. I'm gonna unsnap it just to show you how contoured this is. I mean, check this out. Look at that. It's contoured. I'll get it in the light to mold to the shape of the floorboard. You can pour a glass of water in there and it'll catch it. There's lots and lots of, if you get in with snow on your feet and it melts, or mud or whatever, it's gonna catch all that. It's real easy to put it in and out, clean it, you can hose it, put it back in, snaps in place so it doesn't move around on you. Really good floor mat, very impressive. And I like the use of the red here around the vents. Then you have that white and red contrast stitching on the soft to touch dash. Rebel badging. This is soft to the touch as well. And this, you push this button, opens up. Isn't that nice? Has a little light in there. It's like a quick access glove compartment with a rubber lining on the bottom that you can take out, clean, put back in. And then you have a lock and glove compartment that's more standard. Smooth plastic on the inside. There's handles on all 4 doors, including the driver's side, to help you get in the vehicle. So moving to the back seat, look at the back doors. See how wide they swing out? Almost a 90-degree angle. This helps out with getting in and out of the vehicle, but also for cargo space, and I'll explain that in just a minute. Has some privacy glass that's easy to look out of. Reduces glare. The back door is very similar to the front door in its styling. It has the contrast stitching, the soft touch surfaces everywhere except for this top part and the bottom part. You have the pocket here. You have the large pocket at the bottom as well. Really like the use of that. There's metallic accents as well. That's nice. So back here is basically a bench seat, which you can flip up in a 60-40 split fashion. So it has a similar styling with the mesh in the middle, the contrast stitching. It even has an armrest with cup holders with that same stitching. You can move that up and out of the way. It also has the latch system for car seats back here. You can utilize those in all 3 positions if you'd like. The back of the seats have that red with the pockets on the back of them. So right in here you have a little storage space, your air conditioner vents, cup holders, and a tablet holder all in one. And check out all the legroom. So even with the front seats all the way back, it is fantastic. You also have space underneath the seats for cargo. And there's some hidden cargo space I'll show you in just a minute. Now these seats lift up. So we can lift this up. And we lift it up, there's a little bag holder here, which is nice. Now we have a pretty good size cargo space. Now you see why it would be handy to have this door wide open. So if we want to put a big box or whatever back here, we have the completely flat floor. No transmission hump or axle hump here in the center. It's all flat. Fantastic. Even these mats snap in place when you're sliding boxes or whatever in here. They're not sliding around on you. And you even have cargo tie downs underneath this. These can be cut out, and you have cargo tie downs under here if you want to tie down your cargo as well. You also have, I'm going to move this mat out of the way, because we have some hidden storage back here. So there's a grip here for when you're stepping on it, getting in and out of the vehicle. You have your tie downs on either side. This lifts up, and here's your under the floor storage space. And it's basically a plastic bin in which you can take it out, clean it, put it back in, utilize this space that's completely out of the way, and you can just put stuff in there that you need to take with you, but you don't, small items or whatever, and it's completely out of the way. You don't even think about it until you need to use it. Now you can flip up the other seat and have a tremendous amount of space back here, but being able to flip up one seat or the other also gives you the ability to expand your cargo space while maintaining some passenger space, and your cargo is secured inside the vehicle, out of the weather, and outside of, just secure from being stolen or whatever. Has a power sliding rear glass. The headrests, you see they kind of get in the way a little bit, but if you don't have any passengers back here, you push this button, you can flip them down to get out of your way as far as your visibility back here, which we'll check that out in detail at the end of the video. So taking a look at the back of the vehicle, at the very top of the cab, you can see it's contoured a little bit. Very top, it has some lines there. This is a more aerodynamic front windshield and top of the cab, according to Ram. You have a little shark fin antenna right here. You have cargo lights at the back as well. Those kind of look like standard bulbs to me, but I don't know. Okay, and then you have the privacy glass and the back glass. Tail lights are all LED. Now right here, there's actually 2 places that if this vehicle had the blind spot detection system and rear cross traffic alert, you'd have a sensor here, and if it had the trailer detection system, it would have a sensor in the rear view, the side mirror here, which would detect your if you had a trailer behind you, and give you a warning if there's a vehicle in your blind spot where your trailer is, which is fantastic. Okay, so you notice all the emblems are blacked out, the 4x4, the Ram, and the Rebel. All kind of blended in. You even have the black tips here for your exhaust, dual exhaust. Class 4 receiver hitch, and you have your 4 and 7-way outlets that are easily accessed because they're right here on top of the bumper. They're not below, which all the dirt will be and everything. This will be less dirt, easy to get to, easy to see, especially considering your tag lights will be there at nighttime, so you can see it even better. The backup camera lens is in the very center position right there. Nice. And it's in a high position too. So that way you can see, just get a better view when you have the high center position like that. You can see directly down to back up a trailer and line it up perfectly center because it's in the center position. So the tailgate has an electronic button here. So we push that. It releases the tailgate. Now I'm going to let go of it. And it has a soft landing, so it's assisted. Now when you lift it up, super easy to lift up. It looks like a big heavy tailgate, but it's not that heavy, and it's has a little bit of an assistance there, lowering it and raising it. Now this one has the spray-in bed liner option on the window sticker, which we'll go into all the details on the window sticker at the end of the video. You have some bed lights. These are LEDs here and here, and you can check out my night video. Like I said, you also have a cleat system. You have tie downs that are fixed, and then you have these cleats that are able to go anywhere on that rail, so you can have a tie down anywhere you want. The fuel door is here on the driver's side, which is convenient, and it's a capless design. Now there is a rubber seal right here, and there's 2 stages for the nozzle to go through to keep trash from going into your gas tank, but it's super convenient. No cap to worry about, no getting your hands dirty, and no check engine light turning on because the cap's loose. Okay, so let's go ahead and start it up. I got the key in my pocket, so it can be anywhere in the vehicle, in a pocket, in a bag. Put your foot on the brake, hold it, and push this button. Here's the floorboard in front of the driver's seat. You can see it has that same floor mat that hooks in place just like the passenger. Accelerator and brake pedal are there, and it has this whole section is angled to be a footrest over on this side. Let's take a look under the hood. To open the hood, there is a latch right here in the very center portion, this little open spot. Just reach in, move it to the left, and lift it up. And it goes up by itself, which is nice. And there's a seal at the very top here, all the way across the front, insulated under portion of the hood. You notice those vents do not go through the hood. Has the insulated firewall, insulated battery. So this one has the 5.7 liter V8 paired to the 8-speed automatic transmission. Now the 5.7 liter gets 395 horsepower and 410 pound-feet of torque. You can add more torque by getting the e-torque. It's like an electronic motor that amplifies the power of the engine using electric torque. So as the vehicle's first starting out, gives you a little bit more. But this vehicle doesn't have that. It has a standard 5.7 liter, which is a beast motor, especially paired with the 8-speed automatic transmission. The inside of the driver's side door is just like the other side, except for it has a few more buttons. You have your door lock controls, power window controls. The front two are automatic, one touch up or down. So I'll go ahead and push it down, see how fast it goes. I'm gonna pull it up a little bit just so you can show, I can show you this. It's a dual pane, 2 panes of glass, laminated with an acoustic material on the inside. This gives you better sound, keep the sound out, but also just a stronger pane of glass and overall structure of the door. Side mirrors are adjusted here. You just pick a side and adjust it with that little pad, and then you push the center button here if you want to power fold them in. Now the driver, there's a little bit special, I guess, because they have a power seat instead of a manual seat. So you're able to go up and down, forward and back, tilt the back. You also have a 4-way lumbar adjustment as well. So they get a little bit pampered. Or if you're driving the truck, then you get pampered. To the left of the steering column, down here you have the electronic parking brake, adjustable pedals here. So your pedals, your accelerator and brake pedals, you can move in and out. Headlight controls, you have off, parking light on, and automatic. Fog lights are controlled with that, and your bed lights are controlled with this. Ambient lighting, you can adjust that. That's a dimmer for that, and your interior gauge lighting, that's the dimmer for that as well. The steering column, there's the latch for it. It's a tilt and a telescoping steering column. So not only do you have the telescoping steering column, also the adjustable pedals, so you can get the right position for you. Okay, so here we are on the inside, checking it out. Really like this red. It's not overdone, it's well placed, and just looks great to me. Okay, so I'm 6 feet tall. I have the seat all the way back, all the way down, and it's a little bit too far back for me. So there's plenty of room in this truck. Okay, so looking at the steering wheel, it's a heated leather steering wheel with a smooth portion here at the bottom and at the top with the red stitching and the perforations on either side. Looking pretty nice. It's soft to the touch as well. Very comfortable, good thickness, just a really, really good feeling steering wheel. So on the back of the steering wheel, if you're not familiar with the Chrysler products, it has a volume for the radio back here. So on the right side is the volume, has a center button which cycles through your audio source, so like AM, FM, satellite radio, that kind of thing, USB. On the left side has 3 buttons, like a toggle and a center button. Up and down is changed through your tracks on your CD, radio station, media tracks or whatever, up and down. And the center button is for your presets on your radio only. On the right side is your cruise control here. So you turn it on, set it, cancel and resume. Down here is your upper limit to your gear ratio. So if you need to limit that, in other words, downshift, you can use these buttons here to do that. Bluetooth controls here for your phone. You answer, hang up, and then you also have a very advanced voice recognition system. And these buttons here correspond with the screen between the gauges, which we'll get to in just a minute. Turn signal and windshield wiper controls are here. Okay, so look at these gauges. Let's see if I can get you a shot without all kinds of glare here. With my eyes, they look fine, but of course the camera makes everything look more glare than what it is. Okay, so let's look here on the right side first, I guess. Okay, so on the right side is your speedometer with your fuel gauge, and it has that red dial around the outside and the Rebel name there in the top center, looking good. On the left side is your RPMs and your engine coolant temperature. Now here in the center portion, this is all digital, below that red Rebel. So you have these little windows here. These are customizable, all 4 of them. Then you have a center screen. So right now it's showing a digital compass on the top left. On the top right is the outside temperature, which is a little bit skewed because it's hot out there, but it's not quite that hot. I guess because we're sitting still and the engine's heating up the sensor. And then the battery voltage and your oil pressure there. Now that's all customizable. You can change that information if you'd like, and I'll show you in the settings where you can do that. So right now you see a big digital speedometer. I really like the font that they use on these numbers. They look great. And what gear you're in on the right and left side. So on the right shows your range, on the left side is your menu. So that portion on the right side, you can change that as well. So using these buttons here, we're going to cycle through. We're going to go down. Right now it's the digital speedometer. We go down, you notice it's part of a menu system. So number 1 is speedometer, number 2 is vehicle info. Now you can see those arrows to the right and left. It starts off with the tire pressure. Scrolling to the right, we can get more temperatures and pressures. Gauge summary as well. Then it goes to your engine hours. And then it goes back to your tire pressure. Scrolling down again, we go into fuel economy, which is resettable. Then you have an average, a real time, and a range. Scrolling to the right will give you a second one to reset, so that way you can reset them independently. Trip info, this will give you have an A and a B. You can reset those independently as well. It gives you a distance, average miles per gallon, and a time that has elapsed. You notice the digital speedometer is still visible, just smaller at the top. Scrolling down again is whatever your radio is doing, basically. Scrolling down again, it will be stored messages and screen setup. This is where you can go in and change the different portions of the screen to set it up the way you want. Scrolling down again goes back to your digital speedometer. So that's kind of a quick rundown of what the screen looks like and what it does. A lot of useful features there. You don't have to go in there all the time. It's just there in case you need it. There's your start button. Here's your shifter. This is pretty interesting. It's a dial shifter. You have your four-wheel drive controls here as well. As simple as pushing a button, so it's in two-wheel drive. You have four-wheel drive high and four-wheel drive low, as well as a neutral for flat towing or moving the vehicle without it being in gear. And four-wheel drive low, you're able to, once you enable that, you're able to go enable your downhill descent and your axle lock. So this is electronic axle lock, basically the differential lock, and then that way you can get better traction. Now this is for slow driving. It's going to disable after you go over, I think, 25 miles an hour. It'll disable it, and then once you go back below 25 miles an hour, it'll re-enable the axle lock, the differential lock in the back of the vehicle. So let's go ahead and put it in reverse so you can see what the backup camera looks like. And I don't know if my camera is doing this camera justice, because it looks really good. It's very clear. The colors look great. It's a wide angle view, so you have a little bit of distortion, but you have the active guidelines that you can turn off if you like, but they help out with backing up. You can also push this plus button here and get a closer up shot of backing up to a trailer. But you can already see the bumper all the way to the sky and all around as well. And since the camera is in the very center position, this line is the center of your truck, which is nice. So this helps out again with backing up to a trailer, or just in general backing up. There's neutral, and then there's your drive. And of course you can downshift by using these buttons, remember? Okay, so here at the very top it has the RAM, and it's kind of like a metallic paint. Looks really nice. And there's a storage pocket up here with a 12-volt power supply with a key on it, letting you know that it turns on and off with the key, the ignition system. There's your touch screen, has some gloss black around it. Okay, so the touchscreen has these icons here at the very bottom. First one is your radio. That's the one we're in now. It has your presets at the top, AM, FM, and satellite radio. You can go in here and adjust the audio if you like. I like this where you can just grab it and move it around wherever you want, and push the center button to put it back in place. Media, so you have a CD player, USB, 2 USBs, an auxiliary, and a Bluetooth inputs here. Climate control, you have driver and passenger temperatures, your fan speed, recirculate the air, front and rear defrosters, all this stuff here. You can also sync the driver and passenger temperatures if you like. You can unsync it simply by adjusting the passenger side, or push the sync button again. And where you want the air to blow is here in the center. And then you have a shortcut to this right here. This will take you to the controls, which we'll get to in just a minute. That's just a shortcut to go to this button. Let's go to the apps next. You notice all the icons at the bottom stay put, and then that way you can always go back and forth between screens easily. So you have your Travelink, driver and passenger heated seats. You can projection manager. This is for your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto setup. You can set those up on the system. You can create a Wi-Fi hotspot. You can look at the backup camera without being in reverse. That's nice. Heated steering wheel controls. You can go into App Manager and the Uconnect system and choose what apps you'd like. You turn on or off your powered rear, the dimmer on your power window, power rear view mirror, sorry. You can go into your media, all this stuff. There's a lot of redundancy here, but it's all here in case you want to use it. Now, basically what it is, let's say we have navigation here. But we want to put Travelink there. Let's just press and hold it. We can drag it over and we can replace navigation with Travelink on this main bar down here. So there's some customization going on with this screen, and that's the point of having all these here, so that way you can customize it the way you want it. Let's go ahead and reverse that. Now Travelink, if you're not familiar with it, it's a really useful feature. It goes along with the satellite radio. You can go into weather, you can get a weather map, you get movie listings, sports, all kinds of different things. But you can also, if you're away from home and you're trying to find the next gas station, it'll find the nearest gas station. You can sort it by brand, so if there's a particular brand you like, distance if you just need the closest one, or if you really want to get cheap, you can find the cheapest price. You can also change the fuel type, diesel, premium, mid-range, regular, and sort it that way. So that's pretty cool. I think that was a really useful feature, especially for travelers. Okay, so now remember that shortcut in the climate? This shortcut, it's going to take us to this. So right here is your heated seat for your driver and passenger. Now it's a 3-stage, high, medium, and low. Heated steering wheel, of course, on and off, on or off, that's it. You can look at the backup camera here. You can turn off your mirror dimmer. You can turn on or off that feature. And this is where you'll find your settings. So your settings, you can change the units to kilometers per hour or whatever. Adjust your clock, camera, change the lines on the camera, that kind of things. Your lights, how long they stay on after you turn off the vehicle. All kinds of different features here in the settings. There's just tons of them. So if you don't want it beeping when you turn on the remote start, that kind of thing, or when you lock the doors, you can go in there and adjust all that stuff. So let's go into the navigation. So it's actually enabling night mode right now. You notice the background is black. It's because the shade is covering up the light sensor, so it thinks it's nighttime. So, but anyways, you can put in a specific address. You can search addresses and all that. Let's just view the map right now. You can see we're in Whiteville, North Carolina. Let's zoom out. It changes the size of the text and what information is included depending on your resolution, how close you are. So here the United States is upside down and we're basically on the East Coast, but the way the vehicle is facing south, so that way you see the ocean on this side. Now let's go into here. Let's go into settings. And let's go to map setup. And let's go to blue vehicle icon, because I don't like having a blue arrow when we can have a truck there. So we have trucks, we have that red arrow, blue arrow. But let's go ahead and choose the truck. So now, when we go to the screen, there's a little truck there. That's pretty cool. Okay, so the last icon is your phone. And we don't have one paired, but once you pair your phone, you have access to your contacts, keypad, recent calls, your favorites, all that stuff. You can also switch it back to your phone if you want to have a private conversation, not have it blasting through the speakers. But all those features will be available once you pair your phone. So that's a quick rundown of that screen. And the clarity and the resolution of the screen is really good. You have to kind of see it in person, I suppose. Okay, so you have a volume knob, tune through the stations. You can always turn the screen off if you want it's distracting you or whatever. And then there's your four-way flashers, mute the radio. There's your three-stage heated seat, heated steering wheel, and then the passenger side heated seat as well. Driver and passenger temperatures, fan speed, where you want the air to blow, air conditioning, and automatic. You turn those on or off, and then your front and rear defrosters recirculate the air. A lot of redundancy as far as your climate controls down here as well, so that way you don't have to always go in the screen to make quick adjustments. Traction control is default on, but if you want to turn it off, you can push it like so. And then your tow and haul mode, you can enable that here if you're towing a trailer. So this one actually has a CD player. It also has, there's your inputs for your USB. On the bottom portion of the larger ports, that's a USB. It's a standard USB. It's actually called a USB-A. Okay, and the reason why I'm making that distinction, because the top one is a USB-C, which is fairly new in vehicles, so I want to make sure that you know the difference there. The USB-C in some devices can charge faster and, you know, transfer data faster, that kind of thing. So it has both ports and also auxiliary input there in the center portion. Place to put some pins or something right in here, which is nice, or to run the cables. So you can run the cables here on the side, because your cell phone can go right here. So you notice it has a little place for the wire to go out the bottom. Run the cable across the side, either side, and to the port. And that way you don't have loose cables running around everywhere. And it keeps the cell phone firmly in place once you put it in that little holder. Now some of the new trucks, the Ram 1500s, have a wireless charger in this place, which is cool. Okay, so down here is a AC 115 volt 400 watt AC power adapter. You also have a storage space back down here, and then you have this sliding tray which has cup holders and storage space here as well. Okay, so this is your armrest, and it is massive. It's plenty big enough to share with your passenger, and it has the contrast stitching. It's soft to the touch, very soft. Has a nice big Ram emblem in the center portion, looking nice, and it opens up in two positions. So the first top part has so you have two handles, top, upper, and lower. So upper gives you access to this upper portion. You have a USB charger here and storage space, places to put wires in and out of this compartment here, and has little keepers on either side, which is neat. Has a rubber tray so you can take it out and clean it, put it back in. Then this whole thing lifts up by using the lower lever, and it lifts all the way up, and it gives you some useful information on the underside, conversions and measurements and formulas and stuff. And more space under here, and you see this is where this tray goes when you pull it back, and this locks in place. So once you get it locked in place, it doesn't move. Pull it back, snap it there, solid. Pull it back, snap it there, solid. So you get the idea. It stays where you put it. It's not going to be flopping around on you. So down here is a storage space, and it has these little Easter eggs with trucks on it, and this is a little divider that flips up, so that way you can keep, this locks in place, so that way you can keep stuff back here from sliding forward, and separate your stuff if you like. Okay, so there's your rear view mirror. It's an automatic dimmer rear view mirror. Then you have a place to put your shades. It has a felt lining on the inside, even under here as well. This is for roadside assistance and emergencies. This is for your power rear glass, which I'll show you that in just a second. Then you have these tap lights, reading lights. Little ambient light right in here. Let me see if I can turn the headlights on. At nighttime, I'll show you in a night video. Right now it's not doing anything, but it has a little ambient light that illuminates the center of the vehicle. You got to check out my night video because it's very dim in the daylight. You can't even see it, but it's a really neat feature. And then you can turn off all your interior lights, all of them on. There we go, it's turning on now. You see a little ambient light right there. Or turn them on with the door right there. So those are your features. Visors have mirrors and lights in them. Little clip to put some registration or whatever, piece of paper there. This slides out and has a metal bar. And you also have your HomeLink garage door opener controls on the other side. Okay, so let's look at the visibility in the back, and we'll start by looking at the power sliding glass. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and open it up, close it. Pretty quick. You notice I have one headrest down and one headrest up, so you can see the difference there as far as your visibility. Big windows back there to see. And of course you have the technology to help you out as well. All right, before you go, we got to look at the window sticker. Okay, so the way Ram does their window stickers, it starts off with a base price, basic information as far as the engine, colors, and all that stuff. Then it goes to standard equipment. You can use the pause button to read this stuff if you like in detail. Interior features, exterior features, and then optional equipment. And your optional equipment starts there. And it depends on the vehicle, but sometimes they'll start on the next row. But there's your optional equipment, and then it starts having prices. So your prices correspond, and everything between that price and the next price is included in this top price. All right, so there you have it. 2019 Ram 1500 Rebel. And thank you for watching. Thank you to Vann, Underwood, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram here in Whiteville, North Carolina for allowing me to show off this awesome truck, and I'll see you guys next time.